As we move forward towards the cheaper, better, and faster economy, and at the same time trying to have a more inclusive workforce, the question is that, is it possible for us to achieve both at the same time? Meaning that in the coming years, as we push for faster pace of economic transformation, can we at the same time continue to strengthen the inclusiveness of our workforce? So the question is, can this be done?
Can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Oh, what?
All can.
All can.
All can.
All can.
Definitely with this skills like process skills, production skills and things like that, it helps me to have a broader view of the industry.
Hopefully next year we expand this WSQ certification to the operators and the technicians as well. Just remember, the objective is manpower. Yeah, so we want all levels of the employees in this sector to go through the same process of skill upgrading and certification.
Still 是希望的要剥离东西，要洗到窝，要做翻身，什么都要做。我希望我们还能够做啦。退休对我们来讲是，现在我们要去找工作很难啦，所以希望。现在我身体还健康，还可以做，因为我在这边已经做了18年了，做到很好，很开心啦，所以满足感很大啦，所以希望能做啦。
Obviously, sometimes it's difficult, but learning a different culture and working with the different people with a different nationality, it gives me some different experience also.
We must respect each other culture, and I have to be more flexible because some of the foreign workers don't speak English very much, so I have to be more flexible on them.
Not only me, they are also learning something from me, which is our culture. So it's a give and take policy and the contribution to each of us.
So these organizations, they're all trying to be cheaper, better, and faster, and yet at the same time, they recognize that all callers, all ages, all nationalities is not a liability, but rather it's an asset on their journey towards cheaper, better, and faster. So in the case of wafer fab sector understand fully that you cannot become cheaper, better, and faster by just upgrading the gold-collar workers, the engineers, and neglect the blue-collar workers, the operators. Because the wafer fab industry can only become cheaper, better, and faster when all callers of workers in the wafer fab sector, everyone is cheaper, better, and faster. So that's the reason why they're working in a concerted manner to upgrade the entire workforce. In the case of Raffles Hotel, one of the best in Singapore, same thing, right? They depend on younger workers, like the butler, supervisor. At the same time, they also depend on the not so young workers, the 67 years old lady, and so on. Likewise, in the case of Nestle, of course, Nestle values Singaporean workers. The brother we saw in a video, he worked in Nestle, if I remember correctly, about 29 years or so. And he have changed jobs at least 4 times in Nestle. Because every time when Nestle Singapore upgrade to a new product, a higher product, our brother in the video will have to be retrained. So today, I think he's a senior technician operator, something like that. And he's very happy there. And working alongside him, brothers and sisters from India, from Philippines, and so on. So they work together as a team. Yeah. So in other words, yes, we want to be cheaper, better, and faster, and yes, at the same time, we can be cheaper, better, and faster by tapping on the strength of all colors of workers, all ages of workers, all nationality of workers. I think that is the most important point. Now that we recognize that it can be done, right? It can be cheaper, better, and faster with all can workforce. The question is, then how? How to make this happen? And here again, let's take a look at basically on the part of the worker. Now, to become cheaper, better, and faster, some will have to be reskilled, right? So that you take on new tasks. Some will have to be upskilled, right? Take on higher value added, more challenging tasks, and some will have to be multi-skilled, right? So that they can be more flexible, more responsive. And here, let's look at some examples of our brothers and sisters who have gone through the process of upskilling, reskilling, and multi-skilling.
I am happy that I am able to upgrade and improve myself within my work environment, and this makes my job more interesting.
I'm doing the multitask on a daily basis. I've been here quite some times and I'm happy what I'm doing now. And I like the way I'm working now, and for me it's a good job.
This cross-training initiative, it has helped me to acquire new skills, be more flexible and productive as an employee.
I mean, you just cannot be so narrow-minded that I must come from finance, I need to go back finance. But that is only one road. But like I say, there's only one tree, but you have a whole forest to choose. So if and now with this financial crisis, the finance industry is not in a good mood. I mean, you're trying to go into an industry that is already in a big issues. So you're narrowing your chances. I've gone to 2 different industries totally, which I never imagined myself would be stepping into. And I can say I survived in both. I've actually tasted the 2 industries in that sense, and both are okay. It was quite a nice name, E2I, so it was a bit curious to me, what is E2I about? Okay, basically E2I actually it opened doors for us to see what is available in the market or in different industries. It's not like, okay, I come from financial, all I know is financial, but I do not know anything about what is available in the other industries and whether are you suitable beside the financial industries I come from. So it's like an opportunity or eye-opener, or they call it greener pasture in that sense. But I think without E2I and the PCP program, I wouldn't have got to know the schools and then this company to get a job.
Tripartism today is strong. Our challenge is how do we make sure that you remain strong for a long time to come. Because after this crisis, there will be many more, except we don't know when. So as a labour movement, we recognize that tripartism can only remain strong if all the 3 individual components remain strong. So government must remain strong, SNEM must remain strong, we as a labour movement must remain strong. So as we strive for a CBF economy, all-can workforce, the most united tripartism, we must at the same time continue to ensure that as a labour movement, we can continue to grow bigger, better, and faster as we go through this upturn. Now, In many places, Singapore included, we're always worried about the social divide of high wage versus low wage, young workers versus old workers, foreign workers over local workers. All right? And we are mindful that as a labor movement, if we are only relevant to the low wage workers, the older workers and local workers, eventually will be part of the social divide in Singapore. And we don't want that. So way back 2 years ago, we made the determination to pursue the direction of Labour Movement 2011, right, to build bridges across all colours of workers, all ages of workers, and all nationality of workers. So in other words, we want to make sure that the labour movement will be an inclusive labour movement without social divides, rather to become part of the social divides. Now, if you look at other countries, how do they address this? Are they able to address this? We study the Scandinavian country. All colours of workers in these countries, they are unionized. So their unionization rate is very high, 80%, 85%, very successful. However, they are not able to have all colours of workers come under one national centre. So instead of one NTUC, they all have 3 NTUC. Yeah, so for example, one NTUC for the blue-collar workers called the LO, one center for the white-collar workers called the TCO, and one collar for the graduates called the SACO, the blue-collar, the gold-collar workers. Yeah. So they divide them, they separate. So we asked them during one of our visits, is it possible one day for these 3 to merge so that you have one labour movement for all colours of workers? They look at us and say, no, I don't think so. Yeah, why? Because these workers, different colours, they don't mind working together, they don't mind living together, but somehow they don't want to play together, so they want to live separately. Now, so this is not the model we want to pursue. Then we look at Japan. Yeah. So Japan, for example, and Italy, then we found out that in these 2 countries, their aging process is actually quite fast. So many of the workers actually work work into the old age, and as a labour movement, they struggle to find ways to remain relevant to these older workers. So in the case of Italy, they found a solution, and this solution is they mobilize older workers into a force. And as a result, the older members is now their fastest growing membership for the unions in Italy. Now, in the case of all nationalities, again, every country has a different way of treating their foreign workers. Some reject them, some stop them, some embrace them. Each one of them find their own solution. So likewise in Singapore as a labour movement, we are looking for our solution, and we think we found one. Our solution really is that to make sure that instead of allowing this social divide to take place, we should bring them together. So by building bridges across all. So in other words, we must pursue the direction of a 3-in-1 union. So all colours, all ages, all nationality, all can be part of the same labour movement. One labour movement. Not one for each, but one for all. All can. All colour, all ages, all nationality. And that was a commitment that we came up with 2 years ago. And for the last 2 years, we've been pursuing that direction. How have we done in the last 2 years? Actually, not too bad. Notwithstanding the global inflation, notwithstanding the global recession, we continue to succeed in growing our membership. During the last 2 years, about 80,000 workers, as I can recall, about 80,000 members actually left us. Yeah. Some of them left us because they left their jobs. They lost their jobs. Some of them, they are foreign workers. They left us because they returned to their own country. Yeah. So for different reasons, some of them actually left us, about 80,000 of them. Yeah. So of course, we are sorry to lose them. At the same time, we continue to reach out to more and more workers, and we managed to bring, I think, about 120,000. So we lost 80,000, we managed to recruit 120,000. So as a result, we saw a net gain of about 40,000. So our membership has now gone up to 530,000 in the last 2 years. Now, more importantly, over the last 2 years, we've strengthened our infrastructure to engage our union members for life. The 80,000 union members, I think we could have done a much better job in retaining them. But it's never too late. So we must continue to find ways to engage, to serve these members so that in good times, they join us. In bad times, they will not be forced to leave us because they lost their job. So we are strengthening our effort, and these are some of the progress that we have. So for example, today, right after all this past 2 years of effort, we today have a NIBO club reaching out to future workers who are now 12 years old to 21 years old today. All right, so we have about 26,000 of them now members of NIBO Club. We have a young NTUC, we have 120,000 members in young NTUC, and 11,000 of them have become our activists. So now there's a community of activists in the young NTUC, so now they champion the activities in the young NTUC. Then for those who are married, have family, we have a youth family. So today we have 17,000 of them, where we try to strengthen this work-life balance, and hopefully for the unit to stay stronger together. And last but not least, for those who are 55 years old and above, like people like myself, all right, we got this You Live club, right, so that we can join this group. And then, yes, we may not be as young as before, but we can continue to live an active life as we grow older. If we don't know how, just ask Brother Lim Boon Heng. This is a champion for active aging in Singapore. Yeah. So basically, that's what we've been doing over the last couple of years, is to strengthen our platforms, right, so that we can engage, can serve our members on a lifelong basis. So in fact, here, let us share with you a kind of vision that we have for the future.
Start to trip.